Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Digital Painting Art Show. My name is Jesus Conde, and today we're going to be creating a pencil brush. We're going to be talking about talent versus discipline, and we're going to be doing line art. So let's get started. Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a pencil brush. Somebody has been asking for that. We're going to talk about creating our files. We're going to talk about cleaning the line art, especially this middle one. You guys voted for this one, the one in the middle. In my Facebook page, we're going to talk about talent versus discipline, which is something that most people, I think, have to hear. Because there is a belief that if you don't have talent, you cannot make it into this world. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a ton of stuff. So let's get started so it doesn't get too large, this tutorial. So we're going to create a pencil brush. The first thing that we're going to do is grab any circle brush that we have. And we're going to press F5 to see the options. So we're going to start by deactivating everything because we don't want anything activated at this point. So this is our brush right now. As you can see, it's nothing right now. So if we go to brush tip shape, this one, we can see all these options. The first that we're going to do is we're going to modify the spacing. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it like it repeats less. I'm changing the size with the keyboard. We saw that in in episodes before. Because what I want is that when I draw, I can see little points. I want these little points so you can see them. So the first thing is we're going to change the spacing. I'm going to change it a lot. I think this is good right now. Okay, this is good. Then let's see what other options we have. Shape dynamics, yes, why not? We want it to be big and little depending on the pressure. For that we gotta have the pen pressure here activated. That works in Wacoms. If you don't have Wacoms, well, it doesn't matter, but it's going to look different, that's all. Another thing that we can do is this one, size jitter. And you can see how the little dots here, down here, they change. Some of them are bigger than others. So we have that variation right there. You can see the difference. It's starting to look better. And the other we're going to modify this is the scattering. The scattering is going to separate the dots from the center. You can see how they separate from the center. So if we put this one, looks kind of too random. Maybe a little bit less, something like that. Yeah, I think that works. And maybe it's the points are too separated. So we're going to go back to brush tip shape. We're going to change the spacing. Something like that. I think it works better. Yeah, definitely. So this is our pencil brush. That I think it looks great in terms of what I wanted to look like. So I'm going to save it right here. We click in this little button right here. You can see I'm going to put pencil, and I'm going to put this with the PSD so you guys can have it. For the, let me put it right here so I don't forget. On the Patreon page. If I forget on the Patreon people, just remind me, okay? So I have to create this folder. Nope, it's not here. Here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is create our file for the kind of detail that we're going to have. So the first thing that jumps to my mind when I started this one is I wanted to look like some kind of Legend of the Cryptid thing. That's really detailed and cool looking. So we need a huge file. We're going to start with a tabloid. I always start with that. Let's see how big our image is. I'm going to just, oh sorry. If I want to copy everything with the background and everything, I press Ctrl+Shift+C and then paste. So I paste everything. Okay, this new file is, we click on image size is 5000 for 3300 pixels and 300 resolution. So I think we need something about 6000 to make it look like really nice and detailed. So that's what we're going to go for. In terms of composition, we're going to try to use an heroic composition. You're gonna have like the let me put a gray background. We're gonna have the character in the center. So basically the character is going to be in the center, like in this area, and we need some stuff in the background, but not too high, like in here. So everything that is on top of the half is going to be lighter. So she kind of stands out of that area. Okay, I'm going to explain that later with more detail, but right now we want to start drawing. So I already have my file. I'm just going to save this. Let's save lineart. Woods elf. Okay. So let's start doing the cleaning, and we're going to be talking about all these themes while cleaning this liner. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. What we want to do also is to have a timer so we can take little rests. I'm going to put 30 minutes. That's also a way so I know how much time I spend in doing something. I do that a lot, so I know. And let's copy this list so I don't have to keep changing the file all the time. Let's paste that. So the first thing that you want to do is be comfortable with everything and your workspace. You should be clean. You should have anything stopping you from being creative or things to do if you have something to do. I'm going to put multiply so I can see everything down. Everything I can see through the text, and I'm going to put this like in 30. Let's see, 33%, 20%. I'm controlling that with the numbers because I have the H, which is the hand. I have it activated. So if I had the hand activated, I can change the opacity with the numbers. See? So I'm going to leave it at 3. And that's what we're going to use. The face, I'm not going to touch it too much because it's a picture, and we're going to stick with that until we paint, I think. So I'm going to concentrate more in everything else. Okay, so let's get started with this. Okay, so normally when I'm going to paint, when I'm going to do an idea like a sketching, I use music that inspires me, but when I'm going to do the line art, I put music that relaxes me, because if I don't need that stress anymore. It's stressful to get the idea, but to do the line art is it's just time. So just put your headphones on and listen to music and just clean the drawing. And I'm going to just be talking about these points here. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is talent against discipline. Well, first, I think this brush is kind of too messy. Let's see how little I can use it to get the proper. Do some tests first. I think I need it even little, like I think 3 is fine. Something like that. You need a clean line. And if you want to test out what you're looking, if it's looking good, you can create a new layer. Let's create a new layer. This one, adjustment layer. I do this a lot. I create an adjustment layer and I put everything, all the lightness up. Maybe you can do it like this, something like that, so you can see the difference between having the sketch and not having the sketch. So you may also want to have kind of like a second sketch, because there's things that you have to figure out. So for example, here I'm going to open this a little more, and here also that's going to happen because I need space for the head to be there. Okay, so let's talk about talent versus discipline. Okay, so this is kind of like the hare and the turtle tale, which I don't remember much, but I kind of know the meaning behind it, so I'm just going to jump to that. And it's basically the hare or the rabbit, because I don't know exactly the word. It's kind of like you will assume that it has talent in the tail, because basically it's a race. They have to race. So it's a turtle against, let's say, a rabbit. So you obviously, instantly, you will assume that the rabbit's going to win. Here I'm changing the opacity a bit. You will assume that the rabbit's going to win because it's faster. But being faster or being better because it's the natural talent is not exactly what you need to win. What you need to be is constant. And that's what the turtle did. Was really constant in the race. So when the rabbit fell asleep, the turtle won. So that's basically what I remembered of the tale. I really don't know if I'm saying it correctly. This could be feathers here, but I'm having this claw coming, and I don't know where is grabbing. So I'm going to sketch something here, maybe like little some kind of dots here that grab it. You can jump everywhere. Basically, that's something that you have to do. You wanna be jumping all over the image, so you don't miss any spots. Or you can do it in order, but the thing about doing it in order is that you can forget about stuff in other places. Okay, so I was saying the talent is important. Of course, you can say it's important, but normally what happens when people has talent is that they get a bit confident about it, so they think they don't have to learn anything else. And I'm telling you with experience, because that was me. I kind of had talent until I realized that this talent wasn't going to get me anywhere if I didn't take it seriously. And I had really bad habits. I didn't like to study much. I didn't like anything that had involved books or involved studying, investigating, all that stuff. And then it's like you realize other people is starting to get better results than you. So that's when it hits me. Like I need to learn this stuff, because if I don't do it, then I'm gonna be like I'm going to lose this race. It's a race. Let's just call it that, because there's no other way to call it. You want to learn something, and there is like 10 people that is also going to do it, and if you don't do it, they are going to do it. So I'm not trying to say that it's really difficult, you shouldn't try it. I say you should try it, but you should be serious about it, because if you don't, someone else is. And when you don't get there and they do, you're going to feel really shitty, and you're going to be like, oh man, I wish I could have done that, to have that strength to practice and do everything. And you do have the strength. So we're gonna talk about that in a few seconds. It's not too much about how much strength you have. Is that you basically have to force yourself to do it. We're going to talk about that later. Okay, so we need little details here because she's an elf. So I think it will obviously be a forest, so we need leaves. Something like that I think is fine. And I'm trying to be free as possible with my shapes, but I know it takes time. Okay, this music is too loud and weird. Corn, of course. Okay, so where was I? Yeah. So basically, you gotta have discipline. Let's see what's the other topic. Okay. So it really doesn't matter if you have talent or not, because if you have talent and you don't use it properly, you're not going to get anywhere either. So it's more about how much discipline you have and how much willing you are to practice and get better than having talent. So a lot of people should be really happy about this, and I learned that listening to audiobooks. Like basically, if you have talent but you don't develop your talent, you won't get anywhere either. So we want to talk about that in a few seconds, like, because there is also something that you have to know, that there is some skill that you have to learn next, that it could be not related to what you think it is. Like if you want to draw better, you may think that that you need to maybe get on a course of anatomy or get on a course of, yeah, of course you could do that, but maybe you need to learn something else. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, so let's do the other. Identify what are your worst at. So basically the first thing that you have to do is identify what are you worst at. Like, okay, what's the skill that is killing what I'm trying to do? For me, is anatomy. I'm really bad at anatomy. Some people may say differently, but I feel like I do. I am really bad in anatomy, and I have to change that. and I'm working to do it. Not as hard as I should, but I'm working on it. It's just time. It's just time. We have to spend time doing it. So you have to identify what you're worse at, and just focus on learning that. That's the best way to take that. Another thing is, what's the next skill that you have to learn that will take you to the next level? Well, that depends on what you're doing. If you maybe you want to work on Disney, for example, and you think that to work on Disney you need to learn try how to draw cartoonish. That's an option. You could do that, yeah. But maybe you need to learn English if you don't know English, or if you want to work on a study on France, and you think you need to paint to know more digital painting. Actually, you need to learn French instead of that. So that's what I'm trying to say. There's something that you have to learn in order to jump to another level, and it could be not what you think is immediate. Like, it could be something completely different. I'm going to shut up for a few seconds, because if I don't, I'm going to mess this up. See, I have a problem here. Create a new layer. I have to figure this out. Let's make it bigger. And what else? What else can I tell you? Tips to manage your time. Okay, so to manage your time, this is one of the most important skills. So I could say, if you learn time management, you can do everything. You can do everything in life, because time management is managing your life. Managing is actually, knowing time management helps you to learn how to draw, for example. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you could be spending, you have to identify what is taking most of your time of the day. If you say most of the day I spending it studying, that's good. It's not bad. But if you say, try to know what you're spending your time on. Like, if you play more than 3 hours a day, you play on the computer or play on the PlayStation or something, that's a waste of time. Time is something that you're not going to recover ever again. It only you have less time today than you had yesterday, and it's a bit scary, because if you don't use it correctly, when you notice that, when you learn that the time works like that, it's really scary, because you kind of realize all the fuck ups you have done all your life with the time. And but that is also a waste of time if you think too much about it, because then what are you doing? Instead of doing something productive, you are thinking too much. So it's a really weird balance. So tips to manage your time. First, you need to know what is taking most of your time. Like, if it's Facebook, if it's video games, make a list. Or every time you're doing an activity, try to kind of know how much you're spending on that. If you don't know how much you're spending on that, you could do this. Use a timer. Use a timer to control how much time you're spending. And you could think you're good at managing time, but if you don't think of these terms, you really don't know what you're doing. Like, and I'm just saying it like if I know all the answers. I don't know all the answers, but I know that this changed my life, and I think it could change yours also. So you need to try it at least. When you want to play a video game, use a timer and just put a timer and say, I'm going to play just 30 minutes, for example. And put your timer to 30 minutes. And when the 30 minutes pass, don't just turn off the damn thing. Just turn it off. So that's one way this could work. Another thing will be using Facebook. You could put a timer and say, I'm going to use a timer for just 20 minutes. So 30 minutes of gaming and 20 minutes of timing. So now you know what you're doing. You're spending maybe 1 or 2 hours a day really doing nothing productive. Another thing to know if you're a time waster is how do you manage your day? Like, do you talk about your day like, in the mornings I'm going to do this, in the mornings I'm going to do that? If you talk about it like that, then you are not managing your time properly, because you're being too open. A busy person, what happens with a busy person is that they talk about hours. They say, from this hour to this hour I'm going to be doing that. That's why when you're in the school, you have a schedule. Because if it wasn't because of the schedule, you will be completely lost. So it will be a nice thing to have a schedule also, now that I think about it. I should have put that on the list. But anyway, that's not the point of this conversation right now. So just identify what kind of person are you. You're a time waster if you don't know where your hours go. When you get to a level that you're managing your time really good, it's because you know how many minutes you spend doing stuff. Like, okay, so I spend so many minutes doing this, so many minutes doing that. And that's like really precise. If you do something wrong, basically you have to quit doing some stuff so you can finish it. That's how much tight you need to be about your time. You need to be specific. If you find yourself like, I don't know, what should I do today? Then you are really not managing your time properly. One way to do it is having a list. So that comes back to identifying the thing that you need to learn. So let's make a list. I need to learn anatomy. I need to learn perspective. I need to learn composition. So one good schedule for you, if you are learning by yourself, not studying, you could say, I'm going to read about anatomy 20 minutes a day. I'm going to investigate about perspective 20 minutes a day, and I'm going to investigate about what's the other thing, composition and art or art story or something like that for 30 more minutes, 20 more minutes. That's one way to take that, because if you don't do this, then you're going to lose time thinking. Okay, what should I do today? What should I practice today? You cannot be that open. Make a schedule, because those seconds count. All right. So do that. That's an advice of what I do. It's not like you should do this or you'll fail. You could do it without it, but I'm just saying stuff that other artists do and really works. That's why they are where they are. Okay, so I like how this is looking, this part. Anyway, okay, let's make a line in the center so I can guide myself. It's really difficult to talk and draw at the same time. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, man, what was I talking about? Okay, so you should have a schedule. You should have, what else can we talk? Let's see the list a bit. Okay, so exactly, that's what I was saying. You have to focus your practice. Focus your practice on, I want to spend this much time every day practicing anatomy. I'm going to spend this much time focusing on perspective and all the stuff. Because mostly what people do is just doing what is fun. Studying is not fun at all. If you're having too much fun learning digital painting, then you're doing it wrong. Because let me tell you, this is fucking exhausting. Just learning a tool and how to draw and how to do all the stuff is really exhausting. If you're having fun, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, it can be fun. It will be fun when you know what you're doing, and then you're drawing. Like what I'm doing right now, this is fun for me, but eventually it's going to be kind of boring. And that's why you need to have discipline, because when you get to where you want to go, you're going to notice that it's actually really frustrating. And okay, I'm having trouble here. It's really frustrating when you don't know how to do something, and that's when you need to know what you're doing, because you're gonna have to you are basically solving problems for the people that is paying you. And if you're not able to take that as a responsibility, you cannot be a concept artist, because that's basically your job. You're solving problems every day of how to make stuff look better and stuff like that. I wonder if it will be a good idea to put this attached to the little skirt like this. All right. Let's put some details here. Okay, so the more time you spend doing this, the better the image is going to look, obviously. I think I don't have to say that. Something like this. All right. Okay, so another thing will be, let me add some details here. Okay, so let's get into some mathematics. My favorite. I'm really bad doing accounting stuff. So let's say, so for you to get good, the year had 365 days, right? So if there's one person that is doing 2 drawings a day, so it will be 730 drawings by the year. But if I'm doing maybe 6 drawings a day, that can be 2,190 drawings per year. So what am I trying to say here? It takes really little efforts every day every single day so you can be good at something. What I'm trying to say is the rabbit will try to do 10 drawings on Monday, then rest, do 2 drawings on, I don't know, Friday because he was really sloppy all the week, and then maybe 1 drawing the Saturday, stuff like that. But the turtle will do 6 drawings every day. Who do you think is going to get better first? Even that the rabbit has more talent, the turtle have done more drawings than him, and that's what really matters. I think that's what really matters at the end. It's actually kind of frustrating because right now I'm having a struggle with my class. I'm studying ZBrush, but the thing is I don't have too much time. Mostly because some stuff that I'm doing by myself, the book, outdoors book, and these videos take a lot of time, so I have to make a decision of maybe stop doing the tutorials, but I don't think you will like that, and I don't like idea either, so I have to basically take decisions. And I'm telling you, I don't go out on Fridays right now. I just can't, and stuff like that. And that's the same decision that you have to make. So I'm late right now. Like, I'm 29. If I knew this stuff that I'm telling you right now, if I knew it like when I was a lot younger, or if I knew how much important it is, let me tell you, I'd be in another place completely different right now. I don't know, I'd be working for, I don't know, ILM already or something like that. It's not that I don't like my job. I really like it very much. But I'm saying it will be kind of like already on that level where I can consider that I'm super good. Right now I'm just good, kind of like average quality for a mediocre concept artist or something like that. And it's not that I'm selling myself short. It just kind of like I know where I'm standing right now. Like, I need to be way better. Okay. So I really don't want to read the comment in the comments like, oh, you're really good, don't say that, stuff like that. No, I know where I'm standing right now. So just save it. Save those comments. Anyway, what I was talking, you need to take this as, let's make a small progress every day, and really not focusing too much about how good am I, how good am I, or like I'm really bad. No, just focus on practice, man. Like, eventually you'll know when you're getting better, because you're going to start comparing your old drawings, and it's going to become, man, do I draw this stuff before? It's so freaking ugly. And exactly that's what's going to happen. You're going to spot mistakes. So you have to decide if doing the fun thing instead of doing what you need to do. What you need to do is really frustrating, boring practice, which is anatomy, perspective. It's not fun at all, but that's what's going to get you into the level that you want to be. So you better embrace it and take it as something that you just have to do. And if it's too difficult, do what I'm telling you. Do it for a few minutes of the day. Let's say, okay, I'm going to take 20 minutes doing this, 20 minutes doing that, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm feeling like I need to draw a little of the face, but I'm not sure. At the end I'm just tracing, and it's like I'm going to use a picture anywhere, so let's save that time. what I'm going to do is put this detail here. I'm counting that you guys visit her page and gave her some likes, alright? Okay, let's put some details here. I'm just trying to think of quick ideas. I'm not I might understand that you guys could be a bit lost here, like, okay, where is he doing this shape from? I'm just doing whatever I imagine. If I was doing this for a like a client or a job, I will have to do some sketches first, maybe, to be as accurate as possible or something like that. But right now that will take too much time, so I'm just doing what I think is correct. I could sketch a little bit of the hair. The ears. Maybe it could be like okay, so I wanted to talk about something actually. Some guy in my comments when I started the votation of this and he's going to feel bad for what I'm going to say, but he needs to hear this. So one person told me you should put a scarf because a scarf will look awesome. Okay. First, you didn't saw the last chapter, maybe, where I explained that if you have a brief, you have some information about the character, you cannot just do whatever you want. If the character is an elf from the woods, do you think he's going to have a scarf? Probably, I don't know. I don't think so. And I don't think elves really need a scarf even. I don't know, I think their skin probably already takes care of the cold and everything. I don't know. But yeah, you cannot just do stuff because it looks cool. You have to be consistent with the brief, the story of the character that they give into you. You cannot just do whatever you want that it looks good, okay? So that's one thing. And I'm really sorry if you didn't like my answer. It's just something that you need to think of. Okay, where do I go now? I'm a bit lost right now. Okay, so here we can put some shoulder pads. We should even have some here. Something like that, yeah. Okay, so I don't know what is to talk about. Okay, so be sure to try out those things and let me know if they work. The thing about managing your time, like knowing exactly how much time you're spending playing games and stuff like that, okay? It's really important. I'm trying to do like some, like there's something behind that. Maybe a little I don't know how to call that, wrinkles on the clothes. something like that. Yeah, we could have some details here with these lines. Maybe the shape of the clothing is already like that, so you can put it like that on the shoulder pads. I think this arm is looking weird here. So I may have to do some changes at the end. Not sure if do them right now. Sorry, when I get too concentrated, I just stop talking. Maybe this part is skin. This is not metal, maybe leather, like a leather thing. Okay. There's something missing here in the center. So I'm going to try put some detail in there. And I'm just going to take what I have in the lines already. Like in the sketch. Something like that. Something like this, maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure if this play here on the back. Let's just do it anyway. It could have these shapes. She will have to grab it like from the left side and down, because if she took it from the top, it would cut her hand. Maybe something like this. So we're probably not going to finish this line art here, but I'm just thinking if I should do it in another episode or do it myself and then put like a time lapse maybe between the week, because you really guys don't need to see it all, like all the process. But I understand that some people will not like that it didn't show it all. So, but I don't want to do another whole episode just doing this, you know, because I want you guys to learn quickly as possible. And if I rush, what's going to happen is that it's going to look lose detail. That's all, and that could hurt the image really bad. Maybe you could have like little cloth here. Oh look, I had another detail. Didn't remember that. something like that. Yeah. So some of the lines I do it quick because it's kind of like if you were sketching in real time. So yeah. This could have like a cloth here, and then the piece comes. And this hand was really bad before. This is just a sketching there. What I think it should be now. Some cloth here and the piece around the elbow. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Here also in the knee, but on the knee I feel like I didn't do it properly, so I'm going to do it here. I'm going to do the knee pad like standing out there. Something like this maybe. And maybe something more armory, kind of like that. You can do this, like it's not like okay I have to stick to the sketch. Not really. You're doing this yourself, so you can do whatever you want. Where this was here, but it's obviously not there anymore. We need to put some clothing wrinkles of the cape, the clothes, and I'm trying to draw really loose and thin. I'm trying not to do so hard lines because I'm not sure what's the final result yet. All right. I think this is looking better. Same with this part down here. It doesn't look realistic at all. It should have like a lot of more stuff going on for the protection of the feet and everything. And kind of like the shapes have to fit there. We could have some piece here, like wrap this one. And this one is flexible, but this one rotates. Or something like that. I'm just trying to figure things out. Same here, and you have to try to keep the volume. If you don't keep the volume, there's nothing that can work. So this is kind of thick here. and it's having this kind of like a angle here. Something like that. Something like that, yeah. Actually, I fell into the trap of what I'm saying. I didn't do it correctly, so I'm just going to change it. We need to be consistent in volume, so I need to do it more bigger than I did it. Alright, so yeah, enough of more sketching, and let's keep developing this. I'm going to make this weapon and see where that goes. Having this shape on the blade. Something like that. And by the way, I didn't plan of doing any of this shape. That I think this here was a mistake of the sketch, but I think it could work, so I just left it there. And I'm trying to interpret this spots here, like they really don't make sense, but you have to try to make them, use them as your advantage to have ideas of what these details could be, like just a shape here, and it's far more creative than what you're going to do in first time by yourself. And it doesn't take you out of the process, so that's good. Maybe having something more, a little bit bigger here. See it against white to see how it looks. Yeah. A thicker, I don't know how to say that. A stick. And the giant blade. You have to be careful with that thing on your feet. Something like that. All right. So I bring the photo so we can put it here again. And just have to match the position. I just made it more transparent with the opacity of the layer, that's it. It doesn't match exactly, but it's okay. Well, actually I made it smaller. Let's do that again. I just paste the picture in a new layer and then press 4, for example, and you got 40%. One way to do it is trying to match the eyes, but Never hit enter until you have it matched. But once you hit enter, which is what happened, you lost the quality. You transform it to the new size. Yeah, that's kind of alright right there. And I'm going to create a mask. That's the alpha channel right here. And you can paint that channel. And what's going to happen is that you're going to be erasing. See? Because you're painting on the alpha channel. That's kind of really easy actually. Some people don't get it too much. That's all you have to know. If you paint on the alpha channel, you erase things. If you paint with black, if you paint with white, you make things appear. Okay, and here, going to the head, I'm going to use a soft brush. Something like that I think is fine. Make it black and white, of course, with the adjustment layer. There we go. Kind of. Okay, so let's continue. Let's pick up our brush again, this one. Maybe we need some shadow on the face because the light right here is coming this way. Alright, so we want to keep that. I want to create a new layer just in case. We need more hair here, a lot more. A little bit darker here. Erase here a little. And we also need the shadow of the head hidden here. Kind of, just to suggest that she is actually there. The picture. Creates a better effect. Well, it doesn't look that good in white. Looks better than gray. I'm going to copy this layer and put it here so we can see it that way. This is actually because it has lighting and the drawing doesn't, so we'll get to that, I promise. Don't worry about it. So actually the head is way bigger. This head is like super grown. And we could actually have something like, let me think. Little hairs falling down here like that. Something like that. Yeah, it's looking good. I don't sound convinced, but yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so let's add, and I don't need to worry about that now. Like I figured out eventually. Some people will be like stressed. Oh my god, he's not achieving the thing. Yeah, of course you can say whatever you want, but I'm doing it. Like it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Don't stress out. All right, when you guys can't do something, just relax. You're going to figure it out sooner or later. But the quicker you take action is going to be better. Okay, what I'm trying to say is just don't complain that you don't know anatomy. Just get studying the thing. That's all you have to do, and try to apply the techniques I told you about the time. This is going to help you a lot. I don't want to trace it because it's going to take a lot of time to do it properly. I mean, like I don't want to do like a bad tracing thing, but it's basically just copy that. Okay, so let's just add more detail. Maybe we can have like something here. And well, time is up, but yeah, try to, if you did your version of this, just try to jump to this step. It's really important to do a clean version of your drawing, and if you do it like this, it's actually better because the more you clean it, you figure stuff out, like stuff that you didn't actually know what to do. You figure it out in this step, and then what you do in the final version, which is the final painting, is way easier. There's something epic about this part right here. I don't know what is. Maybe some hair. Something like that. The values help, but the definition, I think I prefer the definition. So I'm not going to put any value. Maybe in the next one, when I'm doing the colors, I'll do some tests with the values, but not in here. Oops, I was drawing the wrong layer. Oh my god. Okay, I'm messing this up. So please practice this. If you want to help me out with the tutorials, you can get on my Patreon page and just have to donate $2 by month, and you can have all the PSDs and everything that I do. In this case will be the PSD, this file, and the brush, so you guys can use it if you are too lazy to create it. But it's actually really easy to create it. Just follow the steps that I did on the beginning, okay? So that's it. See you guys next week, and behave, alright?